Looks like that's up. How are you doing out there today? Hey, I've got people already here and I'm not even ready. I'm sorry about that. It's just so many things to do now to go get ready to go live. But let me see if YouTube got up there yet. There we go. Okay. So how is everybody? Are you ready for Christmas? I know I'm trying to get everything done down here so all weekend I can focus on Christmas and getting ready for that. We've got family coming in. I'm not ready. Um, Gifts are not wrapped. Gifts are not finished. That kind of thing. So, how about you guys? How are you? Hey, Julie, how are you? Who else here today? Let me see if I got TikTok up going here. There we go. So, who else here? Let me know you're there and how you're doing. Hey, Bonnie, how are you? Hey, Barbara, Berlin. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Today, I put out a new blog post, and if you saw this already, then just disregard that. That I've got a blog post I just posted about how I prepare for the next season. And now I'm starting to, go through my Christmas that I have left over, kind of sort through things and get organized, and then I'm bringing out my next seasons out, which include Valentine's Day. Of course, winter is ongoing. St. Patrick's Day, and then Mardi Gras. So when I do that, I always try to go back to what I have in stock as far as in my Etsy shop, wreath-wise or floral design-wise, and see what's left over, and I try to kind of revamp it. I may, like this one, I'm completely redoing this wreath. I wish I would have taken a picture of it before I undid it, but it's been in my shop about 3 years now. I didn't like it when I first did it, and nobody else did it either, apparently. But I actually, when I was cleaning through my Christmas, I ran across, I thought I had used all of these, but I ran across another Soul red truck, and I knew in my ribbon stash, I knew I had some red truck ribbons left, and actually I've got some listed in my shop. I've got this really cute red truck ribbon. It has the chenille on the side there, and it has the black gingham. I really like this. I'm not, red truck, I can take or leave it, but I really like the design of it. I just thought it really popped. So I want to go ahead and use that ribbon today, and it's actually this previous wreath was a mesh wreath base, and so I took it completely down, all the way down to the stub, and because I did have there was like frayed burlap on it and a jute mesh body and that kind of thing. So it just wasn't speaking to me or anybody else. So, but anyway, I do that. I look to see, is it not selling because of the design? Is it not selling because of the photos? Is it not selling because it's not being found? So I just go through and I completely revamp the listing, and I've got almost all of them done. I got one more after this one I got to do, but whenever I was looking at things too, I came across this sign, and I had it on another wreath, but I came across this sign that I really liked too. So I don't know which one I'll end up using, but we'll either use this truck or this sign, and if I don't use either one, I'll have to make another wreath with the other. So, but I want to get it all done, and I went ahead and I cut my ribbon, I cut my mesh. We're going to be using 4 different kinds of mesh to make ruffles. It's 10-inch mesh. This here is 21-inch, just a plain red, but I've got a black, kind of a soft pink, this red that has the white stripe, and then just a plain white. I wanted to put in a little bit of pink since well, of course this truck doesn't. That's why I cut this part here to put that on there in case I used it. but this one does. It has the pink in it too, plus the red Trek ribbon that I was showing you. It has pink on it as well. So, and then I've got like, what I got, 6 different ribbons. I've got a solid red, and then with each one of those 2.5-inch ribbons, I've got 2 1.5-inch ribbons. I love this ribbon, and it really goes well with that black, and it's got just a little bit of pink in it and a red heart. And then just a solid pink, because we've already got a lot going on here. And then, as I said, I'm going to be using this red Trek ribbon. And then I've got just a plain black and white Swiss dot, and then a solid red. I didn't want to bring a whole lot more pattern into it. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let me get everything out of the way. And I'm going to turn you guys down here a second. Oh, thank you guys for following already. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to bring you guys down on Facebook and YouTube. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll check back periodically and answer as best I can. But another reason I'm doing this wreath too, I had a request that somebody asked me, do you even do mesh wreaths anymore? And I do. Floral is actually my preference. And I get in the groove and I forget to make any mesh wreaths. But all right, so I've cut these strips into 20-inch strips. It's a 10-inch mesh. And I'm just going to go ahead and start putting them around on each tie. And I don't really, well, what I want to say, I don't put these down on the ground or on the mat and inch them up. Some people do. You know, I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do it, but I've noticed that it really doesn't make that much difference on this type of wreath, because most of the mesh is just there for a base. It's not there for the design per se. And so it really doesn't make that big a difference. And I just kind of bring it on my belly here and ruffle it, or just kind of squash it up, really. So how is everybody? Is everybody feeling the pressure to get done with Christmas? No, I am. I just cannot believe how fast time goes. It just is crazy. And hopefully all the bad weather's over for everybody. Is anybody still having bad weather today? No, here at the bottom dropped out the temperature. I don't know what it is outside, but it's cold. Cold and windy. Hey Holly, how are you? And I always start on the bottom or the outside ring. Some people start on the inside ring. It doesn't make any difference. But that was the way I started doing it, and so I've just always kept doing it that way. Really got these kind of out of order here. Let's see what I'm due for now. I should have started with one of those solids instead of starting with this one. I'd ran out of roll, so I had to open a brand new roll with it, and so it kind of got my order messed up here. But I'll just have to pay attention. Cold. Oh my gosh, Georgia is only 39 degrees. That is cold. Wow. That's crazy. All right, I need a black one now. And I just try to keep them in the same order just so the colors are pretty well distributed. Yeah, I don't think it would be all that cold outside compared to what we're used to in Indiana, but the wind is really bitter. All right, so now pink. And I like to open up the ties whenever I'm putting my mesh in. There again, some people don't. That's okay. It's just whatever works for you. Now, I do tell people if you are not going to open up your ties, you probably need to cut your ribbon just a little bit shorter than what I've got. But there's all kinds of different ways to do the same thing. I know sometimes people get kind of bent out of shape. You're not doing it the right way. Well, trying to think what they say about opinions. Anybody else know that saying? I know Julie does here. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Beth. That really helps us. If you guys don't realize how much, but it's kind of like our tip jar. You know, when you share or give likes or that kind of thing, it gives everything, gives the video a little bit more juice or mojo, and we really appreciate it. Gets more people there on the live. The more people you get, the more people they show it to, all that kind of thing. All right, so I need the light pink, and then we'll start on the inside. So who all is all ready for Christmas? Already got your gifts wrapped, cookies baked, all that kind of thing. We'll see who the overachievers are. I have to say, I'm better than I used to be. I used to be, of course, when I was working full time um, at the hospital, you know, you come home and after working 12, 13, 14 hours a day and you're wore out. And so I was always getting at the last minute, but I've been better the last few years since I retired. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the next one here. I'm sitting here thinking a second. Let me think on this. What did I do with that other sign? What I was thinking, I thought there, you know, I'm putting a lot of bulk in here in the middle. If I add my sign, do I want to do that? But I think so. I'm going to keep on going. Sometimes if I've got a big character or, um, you know, something real bulky, I will not put mesh on the inside here, or maybe leave out part of it. But I think we'll be okay. That's a pretty big sign, but it's not very thick. I didn't used to use a whole lot of pink with Valentine's, but I like it. I like it. You get tired of just doing red and white. I think it really adds something to it. It's just pretty. And pink's my favorite color anyway. So, and if you're just joining in, as I said earlier, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll look up every now and then and answer the best I can. I may not know the answer, but I'll let you know if I don't. Try to steer you in the right direction. This is going to be a pretty full wreath, pretty deep. Here. All right, two more here. And when you do it this way, you know, I have 4 different colors. There should be 18 ties on these elevated work wreaths, the 15 to 24 inch size. And so obviously you're going to end up with an odd number of pieces of mesh. So, you know, we've got the white on white here, and I mean, nobody's going to notice. And if I were going to put a bow on it, I'd probably put it right here. And so I use that as part of my planning. But anyway, that's what we have so far. You can see that. Let me see if I have any questions. That would not be you, Jen. Hey, I'm right there with you. Cheryl's wanting to know, what is it that I put on the back of the sign to attach the pipe cleaners to? Um, you're probably asking about this. And all that is a piece of foam. And the only reason I put that on there is because this sign's kind of thin. And I didn't want my staples to show through to the front. But I always staple on wooden signs, always staple, and I always punch a hole in the metal signs. But it's just a piece of foam I just cut, just to make this a little bit more thick where I put the staples. All right, let me see. I saw another question here too. Oh, Catherine, you're doing a tutorial or doing the video for the winter grapevine. Good deal. I can't wait to see it. All right. Looking to see on YouTube who else over there. I haven't seen any comments yet over there. All right, let's go ahead and start putting the ribbon in. And as I said, if you're just joining in, I've got 2 different sets of ribbons that I'm going to be using. I've got a 2.5 inch. This one's just a plain solid canvas red, and then I've got this black 1.5 inch that has the pink and the red hearts. Has a lot of glitter, which I like, and then just a solid pink. I'm trying to keep down. You know, I don't want to get too busy because we've already got a lot of action going here. And then I've got this really cute red truck ribbon on the black gingham, and it has the chenille. Everybody knows I love chenille. And then I've got a solid red to go with that. And I've got this black Swiss dot. And everything's cut to about 13 inches on this. So I'm just going to hit ahead, and just like I did before, I'm going to start on the outside ring and then go to the inside ring. Some people cut it, and I do too. Sometimes I'll cut at 14 inches. Sometimes I'll cut my ribbon to 13 inches, but it's just whatever your taste, you know. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do anything. If it works for you, I'm a firm believer in that. I don't know, I might have to put that red truck on the top. I don't do this very often, but It's really hard to see it behind those two ribbons. Even when I spread them out, you don't really see it too much. I think I'm going to swap that. And I typically do not put the larger ribbon on top, but I'm going to in this case. We may decide we don't like it, and I'll switch it back, but I didn't like the way that looked. It was basically my, those 1.5-inch ribbons are just there to accent, more or less. Yeah, that looks better. Let those little polka dots show. Layer these right on top of each other. Oh, you think that does look better too, Jen? Yeah, I do too. It's not very often I do that way, but it works out okay with this heart ribbon because it's one of the smaller ones. A little glitter heart one. Put that one on top for sure. So nobody's fessing up over on YouTube. Teri, can I say hi, Logan, to your toddler granddaughter or grandson? Or granddaughter, it looks like. I can't read it. Hi, Logan, how are you? That's cute. Yeah, I had my grandkid or my two of my granddaughters here last weekend with me, and typically they're dying to get on camera and want to do a live and make a wreath or something, but we were too busy doing other stuff. But how old is Logan? Toddlers, those are fun years. Take advantage of it. They're busy years, but they're fun. Barbara's went, no, do I ever use one of those boards to wrap my ribbon to cut it? I do not. I do not. I do it the old-fashioned way. I just lay them down. I put them on my ribbon holder that goes with my Pro Bow, and then just lay them down here on my cutting board. I use the ribbon holder so I can layer them, cut multiple ribbons at a time, but no, I don't use one of those boards. This part here is always the boring part to me, putting the ribbon on. I don't mind so much once I get it to the inside because I know I'm almost done with it. But this part's always boring. I want to get into putting on the fun things. My ribbon strips, Terry, are cut at 13 inches. Really, you could probably get by with 14 inches on this. I've got some pretty deep ruffles here. Um, I usually cut my inside or my 1.5 inch ribbons a little shorter than I do my outside, which, um, like I said, they could be 13, or I cut mine at 13, but they could be 14. Real easy. Thank you guys for all the likes. I appreciate it. Right. Just a few more here on the outside, and then we'll get started on the inside. This is the last, next to the last one. And I do the same thing with the ribbon also. Sometimes if it's a real bulky item or, the ribbon's going to be tucked under where you can't see it at all, I might leave out part of the inside here. But with this one, I think we're going to use all of it. Let's see. All right, now we're ready for the inside. Let me see if there's any questions here. Oh, Terry's letting to know, do I try to hide the pipe cleaners? Can't that I just call them wreath ties. Yes, I typically do. Normally I'll either tuck them under or I put in ornaments or greenery or something like that over the top. But typically I do. Now, one thing with the Valentines or like 4th of July, Christmas, sometimes you can actually curl them. I've seen people do that too, but that takes a lot of time, so I don't do that. All right, I'm going to start on the inside here. I forgot to check over here. Let me see. All right, let's start on the inside here. These always go faster to me for some reason. I usually tuck those ties under, or like I said, I hide them either with greenery or florals or ornaments or something. Um, I do not cut them. Some people will cut them off. I do not cut them. Um, you just never know if you're going to have to go back in and redo something, or like, for example, this wreath, um, completely revamp it. You want to have some options. Right. Let me see where my wreath hanger. I'd already put my wreath hanger on. I just wanted to see which is top and bottom. Just sitting here thinking about Christmas. Do you buy your own gift for Christmas time? My husband and I, we don't swap gifts anymore. Seemed like, when we want something, we go ahead and buy it. But so we decided back a few years ago, we're not going to buy for each other. It seemed like we got to Christmas time and you're just buying something to buy it. And we'd rather spend our money on our kids and grandkids. But I did buy myself something yesterday. I've been needing a new pair of shoes. And I bought myself a pair of shoes, fretting over it. But you guys buy something for yourself? And my husband, thank goodness when we decided we were going to do that, he is the hardest person to buy for. I think all guys are like that. We also split up the Christmas shopping. He takes care of the adult males. I take care of the adult females. That makes it a lot easier too. All right, we're almost done with this ribbon jazz here. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate that. Oh, you just bought new appliances? Wow. That sounds great. Oh, thank you for the stars, Catherine. Thank you so much. Catherine's asking how long I cut the tails. I cut them for 13 inches, but I was saying I kind of almost wish I would have cut my 2.5-inch ones 14 inches. I mean, they look better out here, but to me they're just a tad bit short on the outside. That's why I put them on the top on the outside, but you could do whatever. 13, 14 inches is usually what I use. And it might be this gingham ribbon was a little bit thick to cut, and it might have been I just cut them too short, like when I was dovetailing them. All right, let me check again where the top is. Okay. I just want to make sure my truck is right side up here on the inside. I don't care so much on the outside because you really don't notice it much, but here on the inside, I want the truck to be right side up. Next to the last one. Woohoo! All right, last one. There we go. All right, that's what we have so far. And I've already kind of, I came in with the decision whether I was going to use the, um, this red truck like that, or if I was going to use my sign. I think I'm going to use my sign. I think that just looks better. I think that I'll put on something else. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to raise this up and get my easel so I can make sure I got my sign on straight. And bring you guys up. And TikTokers, I'm going to move you guys too. It'll take me a second to get you rearranged here. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let me see if everybody can see here. All right, and like I said, I already went ahead and put my wreath hanger on. I like to do that first before I put my sign or anything on, because that way I know that I've got my attachment on right, rather than trying to finagle the wreath hanger after the fact. So, all right, let me make sure everybody can see. There you go. All right, and this sign, if you guys haven't checked her out, this is Crafty Tessie. Tess is an excellent painter, and she has wood signs, she has blanks and such. She also, I think she has a group that she teaches in too, but great person, and she makes some really cute designs. So I'm going to have to stand right in front of you here so I can see if I can get this centered. I think that looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to run that right through the mesh. While holding on. And find my path. There it goes. And get this just tacked on here for a second so so I can let go of it. Okay. One more. All right, I'm going to get right in front again here. Make sure we got it on there straight. Try and get it even this way and that way, which sometimes is easier said than done. You don't want to smash it down into the wreath. You just want to tack it on there where it's secure, but it's not smashing everything, like down, sunk into the wreath. Okay. Try and straighten out all these ribbons now. I'm just going to tuck these guys underneath. I'm not going to put a whole lot of stuff on this one. Valentine's wreaths usually, for me, they're not that great of a market, and people aren't wanting to buy, usually people will spend a little bit more on Christmas wreaths, Easter, spring, that kind of thing. But Valentine's, it's not one of my bigger markets. So I usually don't put a whole lot on them. And somebody was asking if I leave those ties. I think it was Teri. I usually tuck those underneath. That's what I'm going around doing this right now while I'm straightening out the ribbons. Do that at the same time. I usually give them another twist with my ties also. All right, I think it's done. There it is. Can't see it here. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to take it off so you can see it up close. Here it is for TikTokers. Isn't that sign cute? And then, like I said, I do have some of this truck ribbon in my shop. It's adorabledecodecor.com. And it's really nice ribbon. Besides being cute, it's nice quality ribbon. Nice, has good body to it. Cuts up real nice. So, all right. Oh, thank you, Paco. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, Barbara. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. And yes, I do make mesh wreaths, just not as many as I do the floral ones. Um, and I don't know if I have time later on this weekend, I'll probably go live also. But like I said, I'm going to be busy trying to get ready for Christmas. So, but I'll put on a note or put on alert. Now, if you do want to get on my text messaging system, where I do send out a text right before I go live, just to give you a heads up, I promise I don't abuse it. I'm just sending it to you whenever I'm going live, but I've got a different number than I used to. But the number is 1-877-861-8753. That's 1-877-861-8753. And like I said, I just text you. I don't, if I'm going live late at night or early in the morning, I don't text you, but usually I do it like 30 minutes or so before I go live, so just give you a heads up. So thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you guys too. Thank you, I appreciate it. So hopefully all this foul weather is going to be out of the way, or maybe some snow would be nice. But if we can't have snow, I don't want the other stuff that comes with it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Brenda. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a great weekend, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.